Okay, so let's be real. In the world of AI, you've got ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. It feels like there's a new update, a new model, practically every single week, right? But this latest announcement from xAI about Grok 5, this one feels different. It's not just another small step up. What we're seeing here is a signal, a sign of a completely different game plan for building AI. It's a strategy that's all about pushing the idea of scale to its absolute breaking point.
Yeah, we're not just talking about an AI that's, a little bit better at writing your emails or summarizing a long article. Nope. The vision behind Grok 5, it's pointing towards a genuine, massive leap forward. We're talking about something that could totally reshape what we even expect an AI assistant to be. And because of that, the stakes, they are absolutely sky high. So, that really brings us to the big question we're tackling today, right? Is all this buzz about Grok 5 just a bunch of marketing hype, a bombshell designed to get everyone talking? Or are we actually looking at a historic technological breakthrough? To get to the bottom of that, well, we've got to pop the hood and see what's really going on inside.
All right, first up, a new scaling hypothesis. You see, to really get what makes Grok 5 such a big deal, you have to look at how fast it's all happening. xAI isn't just walking here, they're in an all-out sprint. And that incredible speed is a huge piece of the puzzle. Just think about this for a second. Grok 1, it only landed in late 2023, right inside X. Fast forward to July 2025, and boom, Grok 4 is already out there, leading the pack in reasoning and tool use. And then, just a few months after that, in November, they announced the plans for Grok 5. We're talking a massive, massive leap in scale and what it can do. This crazy acceleration, that's not an accident. That is the strategy.
Okay, now for the really juicy stuff. The 6 trillion parameter architecture. This is where Grok 5 really starts to look less like an upgrade and more like a whole new species of AI.
Just look at that number, 6 trillion. That is the reported number of parameters we're talking about for Grok 5. Now, if you're not familiar, you can kind of think of parameters as the neurons or the brain cells of an AI. The more you have, generally, the better it is at understanding really complex, nuanced stuff. And a number this big, it just puts Grok 5 in a completely different league.
But here's the thing. It's not just about being gigantic. It's about being smart with that size. Grok 5 is built on something called a mixture of experts architecture. So instead of having one massive brain that tries to do absolutely everything, it's more like it has a whole team of specialized networks, and they only fire up when they're needed for a specific task. xAI calls this creating a higher intelligence density. Basically, it means it's using all that massive power way more efficiently, directing the right part of its brain to the right problem.
And this really breaks it down perfectly. The old way, the monolithic model, that's like having one single genius who's expected to solve every problem thrown at them, math, poetry, coding, you name it. The mixture of experts model, on the other hand, is like having a whole team of specialists. You've got your mathematician, your writer, your coder, and you just call on the right expert for the job. It's just a fundamentally smarter, more efficient, and ultimately more powerful way to do things.
And if that wasn't enough, get this, it also has a massive memory. We're talking a 2 million token context window. That is huge. A token is basically a piece of a word, so what this means is you could literally hand Grok 5 an entire book, or maybe a super complex software code base, and it could hold all of that information in its working memory at once. It could analyze it, debug it, answer incredibly detailed questions about it, all without forgetting the beginning.
Okay, so the architecture is insane. But Grok's biggest secret weapon, its real strategic advantage, might be something that literally no one else can copy, where it gets its data. Grok is plugged into an absolute fire hose of information. It's trained on the 500 million posts that pop up on X every single day.
And here's why that's so important. This isn't some static, old snapshot of the internet from a year ago. That's how a lot of other big models are trained. No, this is a live, flowing river of data. It's human conversation, it's breaking news, it's cultural trends, all of it updated in real time every single second.
What this does is create this incredible feedback loop. Grok is always learning. It has up-to-the-second info that other models trained on those static data sets they just can't touch. And nobody else has this kind of training data at this scale. Because it's baked right into X, it's also learning directly from how real people are actually interacting with it. It's a game changer.
So you take that crazy powerful architecture, you add in this unbelievable data advantage, and suddenly the bigger picture starts to come into focus. The end goal here? It isn't just to build a slightly better chatbot that you go visit on some website.
No, the vision is way bigger.
It's a shift away from thinking of AI as an app you open and towards thinking of it as an ambient layer that's just everywhere. The idea is that instead of you going to the AI, the intelligence is already integrated into all the stuff you use every day.
So how do they actually make that happen? Well, the strategy has a few different parts. First, you see it on your X feed, helping to rank content and give you context. Then it's coming to your car as a super powerful voice assistant in Teslas. They're also pushing for big enterprise use, with government partners. And yeah, there's even been whispers about it maybe being integrated into phone operating systems like a future version of Siri.
And when you have that kind of deep integration, you unlock some seriously next-level abilities. I mean, we're talking about real-time video analysis. Imagine it processing live drone footage to figure out traffic patterns on the fly. Or advanced reasoning that lets you have an hours-long coding session without it ever losing track of what you're doing. And maybe the biggest one, true multimodal understanding. That's analyzing video, audio, and text all at the same time, kind of like how our brains do it.
Okay, but with ambition this big, you're going to get some pretty wild claims. So we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI.
Elon Musk himself has gone on record saying Grok 5 has about a 10% chance of reaching human-level intelligence. Now, that is a massive statement, and as you can imagine, it stirred up a ton of excitement, but also a whole lot of skepticism.
So the way to think about this isn't as a promise, but really as a reflection of their whole strategy. xAI is making a super aggressive bet. They're sprinting, basically gambling that if they just throw enough scale at the problem, they can force a breakthrough to AGI. Now, the rest of the AI world, the general consensus is a bit more cautious. Most experts think true AGI is probably still years off and that it's going to take more than just making things bigger. It'll probably need brand new ideas we haven't even thought of yet. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. When can you actually try this thing? The launch window is currently set for the first quarter of 2026. And, no surprise here, if it's like previous launches, first dibs will go to X Premium Plus and Super Grok subscribers. Free users, you'll probably get access eventually, but expect some pretty strict limits. So, when you boil it all down, Grok 5 really makes us face a massive question about where this is all going. Do you think the future of AI is an app on your phone that you choose to open? Or is it more like an invisible, intelligent layer that you just live inside of every day? With Grok, it's pretty clear